Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is an international call. We are calling you from Punta Cana live here in Dominican Republic. This is the Veterans Tour to Punta Cana. My name is Brian, and I'll be doing your presentation. I will consider myself the co-host on behalf of Jalen Reinhardt. This is the Veterans Tour to Punta Cana. As you've seen on the screen right there, you see two basically logos that we use to reach out to veterans and make them aware of this program. One is the Veterans Care International logo on the left, and the other is where veterans are VIP. So these are our social media content. If you see those logos, search it out, join, ask questions. We're here in Punta Cana. Let's go. We'll start by doing some brief introductions. I'm here on the call. My name is Brian Scott Smith. I'm a retired Army officer, 22 years in the military, and I am continuing to serve today. I'm serving our veterans, our men and women who served our country through all types of conflicts, all types of peacetime. We are here to present this program so you can be well informed about how you can come down here to Punta Cana and get your health and wellness taken care of. So, as I mentioned before, we have created two logos that are very important, but I also want to mention one other that's showing on the screen. That's our Fundación Punta Cana Community Care logo. That is for our nonprofit. Please continue to support our nonprofit. So today we're talking about transforming veterans health care all together. Not you by yourself, but you can see the team there. It's with all of us. Veterans Care International is a pioneering organization dedicated to facilitating veterans access to top-tier medical care in the Dominican Republic, where you're leveraging your VA benefits to ensure you receive the support that you desire. This initiative, as I mentioned before, is proudly sponsored by Fundación Punta Cana Care Community, which helps make both VCI and VIP possible for veterans like you and me, because I've also been through the whole entire program. Well, here I am. I want to just say that, there's going to be a lot of pictures of me, so just hang in there, right? But first and foremost, I want to explain to you basically why I have on this particular uniform, or at least a jacket of the uniform. I'll get to that in a moment. But as I mentioned, I've served 22 years in the military. Later on in life, after I got out the military, I was offered an opportunity to go back to school. You see there, I'm a clinical social worker from Columbia University. I've worked in the Manhattan VA, the Brooklyn VA Hospital, tending to many veterans who need special care in all areas, muscular, skeletal, mental health, everything you can imagine. We've helped them all throughout New York City. But as I go back to this picture, I'm wearing a fatigue jacket. Some of you may know what that jacket resembles or what it means, but that jacket was basically worn by many of our Vietnam veterans during the Vietnam conflict, or during the Vietnam era, as they say. So I'm always giving back and showing support. That picture supports actually me wearing a fatigue jacket in honor of veterans who were in Vietnam. My cap shows that I'm an airborne ranger. I've worked in special operations. I've been in part of 3rd Special Forces Group, and the last rank that I served was a major. Moving forward, we want to always get back and talk a little bit about who inspires us and where our roots come from. Well, my co-host, Jalen Reinhardt, who is the actual general director, general manager, all those titles, he runs the whole entire Veterans Care International program. And there you see a picture of his grandfather, Mr. James Henderson, who was also a U.S. Army veteran, who was also in the Vietnam War era. That's him holding Jalen, and that's why Jalen has such a desire and a burning desire, actually, to give back and help veterans who have served in the military. So give a shout out to Mr. James Henderson, U.S. Army veteran. A lot of people wonder, well, Brian, why would you want to come to Punta Cana, and why would some people like us want to come to Punta Cana? Well, there's many, many reasons, but here are a few that sometimes we try to discuss with people to let them know what it's all about here. One, you know automatically, it's the stunning natural beauty beaches. I mean, there's pristine, lush landscapes. There's beaches, from white sand beaches to black sand beaches. All of these beaches have the best, I'd say, the best atmosphere because the water is salt water. You're getting the breeze from the ocean. You're getting all the vegetation from the palm trees. These are stunning natural beauty that basically helps you in your health and wellness as you grow. Growing infrastructure. Anytime you drive around Dominican Republic, or more specifically in Punta Cana, you're going to see many cranes, many construction sites, because this particular country is continuing to grow. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but there were around 11 million visitors that came to Dominican Republic in 2024, and about 60 to 65% of them actually came here to Punta Cana. So you can see on the slide, the GDP growth is tremendous. We're talking between 2000 and 2022, an astonishing 17 billion. That's a lot. Government support for tourism and development, well, the government is constantly supporting and giving back to this island. That's why there were so many visitors coming here in 2024. And of course, strong economic growth. The GDP, as I mentioned before, is constantly growing, and you have a high ROI. There's a high ROI. I'm not trying to rhyme and say anything like a rhyme or like a rapper, but high ROI sounds the same. Potentially favorable climate where people can come here and invest and see a substantial return on your investment. And then lastly is safety. I live here now in Dominican Republic. It's one of the safest places that I can tell you I've been to. They have what they call a Politor police force. These are the police that actually come out and survey or drive around the city and everywhere to show that they are here to support the tourists that are here day and night in Punta Cana. Now we're going to kind of change gears and talk about what's included. What's included in this program? What's included in this program that you're going to come to from Tuesday to Tuesday? Let's talk about the medical services. The medical services that are included: general practitioner, chiropractic work, psychologists and psychiatrists are on site, cardiologists are available if you need them. You're going to have yoga, massage therapy. There are neurologists available if you need them. You're going to go through meditation classes. You're going to see an orthopedic doctor if you need to. If you need to see a GI doctor for gastroenterology, we have that as well. ENT stands for ear, nose, and throat. And then the picture is reflecting something that we just started about a month ago, which is aquatic therapy. Now you can get it all. These things are all included when you attend our workshop here. I'm still going. These are more things included. Now we're going to talk about activities. The activities range from being in the water, like riding on a catamaran, going out for beach day, movie night at the hotel, dance classes. They got a renowned world, I'd say Johnny Travolta, but I call him Johnny Travolta. But he's a world-renowned bachata, merengue, salsa, Roomba dancer. He can do it all. He comes here and leads a class throughout the week of your stay. We have a barbecue. The barbecue was great. Right by the poolside, many of the local veterans come out here to socialize and network with the new veterans coming in. They've been living here in Punta Cana. They can share their experiences with you, places that they've been, where to go to, where to eat. It's really a big networking event, and we love it. And of course, real estate is one thing. Real estate is something that if you like to, we will show you real estate that you can invest in. It's optional, so don't think that you're just required to come here and do a real estate tour. You're here for health and wellness. Live music and sound therapy. The sound therapy is astounding. You'll wake up at around 7 o'clock in the morning, go down to I call it a sandbox, but it's a beautiful beach area that they've created inside the hotel, and they actually allow you to get out there, do your therapy, lay on mats, and just listen to the sounds to take yourself to a full meditation. We're still going. Yes, there's more. What else is included, Brian? Well, these are some of the amenities. The hotel stay is included. From Tuesday to Tuesday, all you have to do is catch a flight and get here. We'll pick you up at the airport. There'll be somebody with a sign holding up your name. You'll get into the vehicle, and they'll drive you straight to Las Flores Hotel, and that's where you'll start your journey. 6 dinners are included. So you're here for 7 days. 6 of those days, dinner is included. 1 of those days, dinner is on your own, but we're all going together, so don't worry about it. Transportation, as I mentioned, for all activities, to and from your medical appointments, to and from the excursions, to and from just around town to go have lunch. We do lunches every single day, and we usually go to different restaurants so that you can experience the different culture of foods. It's astounding. And guess what else? You can bring 1 guest. That's right. You could bring a +1. There is a caveat to that, but let me just mention, you could bring mama, you could bring your father, you could bring your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt, your children. The children must be over 18 years old, though. But you could bring a +1 when you come on this medical tour. Now, here's the catch. Inside the hotel rooms that are so gracious and beautiful, there is one soft a queen-size bed. That queen-size bed can facilitate 2 people. So if it's you and your battle buddy, it's okay. Somebody can sleep at the head and somebody can sleep at the foot. My point is there's only 1 bed in the luxurious rooms. So make sure that your +1 is somebody that you've known for a while, you care about them, and you guys can stay up all night, watch TV, tell jokes, play spades, play dominoes, and then start the tour. At this point now, we're going to go into a recap so you can kind of see some of the experiences that we have when we do this wonderful tour. Now we're going to go to the recap. Tony?
And see what BCI had to offer, and
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers.
Here is the best. In United States, the only thing you do is go to the hospital. They just you sit down with the doctor, and they just ask a question, and they look more at the computer, putting all information than what they're talking to you, what they recommended to you, and everything.
I highly recommend this beautiful facility to any veteran in the United States, and come here, get better treatment, more professionalism, and outstanding service.
While you're here, you will receive some of the best primary health care that you could ever imagine. For me, I had some issues with my feet, with my hearing, and so when I came here, they were able to focus more one-on-one with me, and what a way for the veteran to get that kind of assistance where they treat you more like a person than a number.
And just come, don't be afraid. It's gonna change your life.
I fell asleep amid the flowers.
Coming here was a revitalization for me. It lifts whatever sadness you're feeling. You're just so happy when you come here, especially when you're coming from a place that's cold, you know? I loved all the activities that you guys had planned. It was just amazing for me. I can't get enough of it. I'm very pleased, and I will be back. Get your airfare together. Just save a little money for lunch. That's all you have to pay for.
BCI medical team hospitality was incredible. I had never seen a group of people that would come to you, and not only come to you, but be willing to help you with all your needs and all your concerns. They answer all my questions. I never thought that they were going to be able to do all this stuff with us in a short period of time.
I decided to take a
I'm Francisco Dupul, the clinical psychologist here at VCI. I was born and raised in Santo Domingo, and I finished high school as a cadet at Riverside Military Academy in Gainesville, Georgia, where many of my instructors were U.S. veterans, and their mentorship guides my work to this day. My practice is trauma-focused. I help veterans turn painful memories into sources of strength, clarifying unhelpful thoughts, calming the body's stress response, and rebuilding emotional balance. When those pieces come together, sleep improves, anxiety eases, and a renewed sense of purpose takes hold. Serving veterans is a calling for me. Years of service can leave invisible wounds, and the courage that carry you through uniform deserves equal dedication in healing. Every session here is offered respect, safety, and practical hope. So my invitation is simple. Step inside, share your story, and experience how the right therapeutic space can restore clarity, connection, and confidence. It's an honor to walk that path with every veteran who enters our doors, and I look forward to welcoming you.
It was first-class service.
Okay, so I'm glad you all had a chance to see the recap video as well as seeing some of the medical professionals that are down here. It's very important that you get to know them when you come here. It's not like walking through the traditional VA, but you know, some of you may come in contact with medical professionals at the VA back in the States, but here it's a totally different experience, and you're gonna love it when you come down here for that. Now we're going to go through a couple of testimonies. Please take a look at these testimonies from other veterans that have come to the program.
It was first-class service the whole way. The first time that I actually felt comfortable talking to a mental health specialist without having to feel like under the pressure of the microscope of the VA watching me. Oh, I'm going to recommend this program to all my veterans friends because as I stated, the staff here, very professional, first class all the way, no waiting lines that you would be waiting for in the States. Appointments are scheduled timely, efficiently, and the staff is well knowledgeable and very, very professional.
And here's another testimony that you can guys take a look at.
It's first-class service.
I came here very broken with very little hope, and hope has been renewed. Without hesitation, I would say the commitment, the dedication, and the compassion of the staff. They were attentive. They took time with me. I was a person, a whole woman, not just segmented. They addressed all my needs, mind, body, and spirit.
All right, so I'm glad you guys got a chance to take a look at some videos of not only the recap, not only about medical professionals, but also some testimonies from previous veterans who have come down here to the program. And I can tell you from talking with them directly, it is changing and has changed their life. So let's get into it now as we change gears to talk about what's not included on the tour. Please take note. I should have mentioned that when you started the presentation. You want to take some notes. You might have some questions. But these things right here, you want to make sure you cite and actually write it down if possible. What is not included on the tour? First and foremost, the flight. The flight is on you to get here across the water. You're leaving from Miami, Texas, California. The flight is on you. However, sometimes the flights are very reasonable if you schedule in advance. We have tours throughout the whole entire year, multiple tours each month. So you will be able to catch one. Just make sure you schedule out in time to get a good rate on your flight. All the meals, some of the meals are included, but not all the meals. So the meals that are not included are the lunches and the one dinner that I just mentioned earlier. So what's not included is your lunches and one of the dinners, okay? Transportation for other activities outside of the tour. That means that, and I use the analogy a lot of times when you guys are here, or if you hear people talking about our opening ceremony, is that I consider Las Flores Hotel and Wellness Center, if you're in the four walls and the gates of that particular facility, it's inside the wire. If you are outside the gate, you are outside the wire. Transportation outside the wire, other than your appointments or excursions or lunches, are on you. It's basically simple. You just use your Uber, or some people ride on the back of a motorcycle. So you'll decide which one is good for you if you need to travel outside of the wire on different days. Alcoholic beverages are not included. And believe me, if we see you drinking extensively, we're going to ask you if you're okay first. Because you know everybody loves a beer, and especially Presidente beer. Don't get me wrong. I know you guys want to taste the Presidente beer, the original Presidente beer that you're getting here from Dominican Republic, but we have to still monitor it. It is alcohol. You are here on a health and wellness retreat. You're here for a program. You're here to get your health and wellness taken care of. So please try not to abuse the alcohol. Laundry. Laundry is also not included. We do have a process where you can get your clothes washed and dried, but there is a fee for that service. So laundry is not included. Let's talk about the Wellness Center. During your tour here in beautiful Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, you're going to be staying for 7 days at the Wellness Center, Las Flores Hotel and Wellness Center. This is a 7-night stay from Tuesday to Tuesday. As we mentioned earlier, you receive shuttle service from the airport to Las Flores and from Las Flores back to the airport when it's time for you to depart. Continental breakfast every single morning. There's a chef on staff that cooks the breakfast every single morning. And other meals may be a la carte, like finger food, like barbecue food. These things are all cooked at the Wellness Center by our chefs. Sometimes we have chefs for the morning, sometimes we have chefs for the evening, and sometimes we have personal chefs for the barbecues. And of course, the pool and tropical garden. The pool is very warm. I think the last temperature reading was around 81 degrees. It's very warm. And of course, there's luscious tropical plants all around. Not luscious for you to eat, but just luscious for you to view. Let's talk about the Foreign Medical Program. Some of you may have heard about it. The Foreign Medical Program, or FMP, is a program that allows veterans to get their health and wellness taken care of when they're outside of the United States. This is not including Puerto Rico and United States Virgin Islands, because they do have VA facilities and what they call CBOCs kind of in those locations. We're talking about abroad. For those of you who really wonder what the Foreign Medical Program is and how it got started, well, if you remember World War II, some of you may not be old enough, or some of you may be old enough, doesn't matter. But during World War II, after the war, a lot of the veterans wanted to travel for R&R. They wanted to get rest and relaxation. Sometimes they were not always in the United States. They were abroad. So the Foreign Medical Program was created to help those veterans that were not going to be in the United States go to an accredited medical clinic or medical facility and actually get their medical attention taken care of. That's the same thing that's going on today here in Punta Cana at Veterans Care International at the Las Flores Hotel and Wellness Center. So basically, we work through the VA's Foreign Medical Program, which allows eligible veterans to receive care for service-connected conditions while living or traveling abroad, period. If you'd like to enroll in the program, when you come here on the tour, during orientation, we have all those documents for you to sign. We send them for you. That's right. We send them for you, and then in about 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to get a letter from the VA. That letter will show all your service-connected disabilities that you've been approved for so that the Veterans Care International program can now begin treating you. It's a great program. So any questions you see there, send them to info@veteranscareinternational.com. If you can't make the tour and you still want to get registered, we still may be able to help you there. Health and wellness. Isn't this why we're here? Can everybody see the video that's playing right now? Okay, great. So I'm glad you got a chance to take a look at that video. It shows a lot of the therapeutic interventions using holistic type of treatments. That's right, holistic. No medications, meditation, yoga, sound therapy. These are all ways of healing, whether it be muscular, physical, musculoskeletal, even mental health. Holistic ways are more advantageous. I'm not saying that you have to listen to that directly from me, but through clinical experts and studies, it shows that holistic types of medical interventions have a higher rate of progression. You can look it up. But now you're looking at some pictures of actually how we conduct some of these holistic and medical interventions. You see yoga in the upper left-hand corner. You see aquatic therapy in the middle. You see counseling in the upper right. You see chiropractic work down in the lower left. Again, you see some of the techniques that were used for yoga. And then, of course, again, you see aquatic therapy down on the lower right-hand side. These are some of the interventions that we use to help our veterans' mind, body, and soul. So let's talk about it. How do you get enrolled in the program? This is showing you 4 different steps. Remember, you must enroll in order to come down here to Punta Cana and get your health and wellness taken care of. The first thing you can do is call the VA, because first thing you have to have in conjunction with all your documents is your disability breakdown letter. No, it's not the letter that you receive when you get your disability rating. It is not the letter you receive in the mail. This particular information comes directly from the VA. You have to call them, ask them for a copy of your disability breakdown letter. They send you an encoded email, and then when you open up the email, you can actually print out your disability breakdown letter. Okay? This letter shows your ratings and your disabilities. This is very important, and we're going to talk about those 3 major documents. I'll just mention them right now. Your disability breakdown letter, a copy of your ID, whether it be your passport, your driver's license, your VA ID card, your retirement ID card. These are requirements that we have to have along with the disability breakdown letter. Disability breakdown letter, your ID, and then you must have a copy of your DD-214. That's right, DD-214 is your discharge document. And if you're like me, it's probably folded up somewhere in all your war memorabilia. So please get it out, dust it off, and make sure that it's legible. If you can't read it, we can't read it. So please make sure it's legible when you send it along with the other documents. The second thing you must do is register for the tour. When you go to the website, you're going to select your preferred dates and register for the tour. Wait for an approval to confirm your availability. There'll be someone calling you and scheduling you, asking when are you coming, asking you are you bringing a +1, asking you your flight information. These are things that you do to register for the tour. The third thing is you're going to fill out the enrollment form. You're going to submit all the necessary documents that I just mentioned. Then we will send you a link to your email so you can send your documents securely through our platform. And then finally, book your flight. Don't wait. If you're on this call tonight and you want to come in September, if you want to come in August, book your flight at least 30 days out so that we can reassure that we have a spot for you, because spots are filling up. I just want to let you know that. I've been coming here since late January of this year, and I've seen the growth of people who are veterans, men and women, coming here to get part of this particular program. So don't wait. You're going to book your flight. Once your registration is approved, book your flight to Punta Cana and confirm your spot within 48 hours after registering for the tour. Now we know that you're coming. We're going to be calling you. We're going to be talking to you along the way. And that way we know that you'll be safe and sound when you get here for your health and wellness. Let us go over a couple of important dates. These are the dates scheduled from basically now all the way through the end of the year. And you can see, as far as July, the next tour starts on July 15th through the 22nd. So that's showing you two tours in July, 3 tours in August, 3 tours in September, 3 tours in October, 3 tours in November, and guess what? We're going to close the year out December 2nd through the 9th. Stay tuned. There may be a New Year's Eve celebration out here. I'm not saying if it's going to happen, just stay tuned. Okay, next, as we do with our tours, with our webinars, we always have select special guests who come here and give us a wealth of knowledge, of information that they have experienced in their lives that they can share with us, me included. I'm always learning. I'm that sponge. This particular gentleman that we have here as our guest tonight, he is a veteran. He has a plethora of information and a plethora of knowledge, not as a veteran, but also as a person that's been in society, a person that knows this island. This person that I'm about to introduce knows a lot about real estate. I learned from him in real estate. We are working on the same team together in real estate. We are working on the same team together with veterans. We are working on the same team, period. So for those of you who really want to understand what's going on from a different perspective, from someone who's been here on these tours, even before we started in February, he was here last year. I got to give it up. I got to give it up for those who want to understand and know more about this particular opportunity and know more about how we can help veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Jose Martinez.
What's going on, Brian?
Man, we are so happy to have you here right now. Are we live, Tony? Are we live? We're live. We're live. We're
That's
live.
awesome.
This is
That's
the best
awesome.
part. You know,
Let's
this is
do
the
it.
best part.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
We have Mr. Jose Martinez here. We're going to ask you a couple of questions, Jose, and there's going to be some questions coming from the crowd, too.
That's okay. I'm ready for it.
You're ready for it.
I'm
This
ready
is not
for it.
scripted,
Always
ladies and
ready.
gentlemen. We are ready, and this guy has a lot of information to share. So first and foremost, can you please tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
All right. So obviously, I was born in the States, raised here as a child, left about 12, 13 years old, raised by my grandparents. Since then, I went back to the States, obviously, spent a lifetime there, joined the Army, was part of Desert Storm, Desert Shield, left the service, was in the National Guard and Reserves for a little bit during the Clinton years. But
Yes.
during that time in the Reserves, I was also a law enforcement officer in New York. Spent some time there for a total of 23 years altogether.
Yes.
Retired, went down to Florida, down to Miami specifically.
Yeah, Miami.
Pretty much after that, got involved in the hospitality industry. You know,
Okay.
I took my skills that I had, and I actually ended up just doing security. And it was very hard, you know, transition
Yeah.
from throwing flashbangs, because I was on the SWAT
Yeah,
teams. I was
yeah.
a sniper observer during that
Yeah,
time
yeah.
too. So it was a big change for me, you know.
Yeah.
But definitely, I was excited, and I think that's what really revealed me, just kind of like the service industry, right?
Yeah.
I've always been a man of service, you know, since I was a kid. I've always loved to help people. You know, that's why I was my inkling. You know, I served my country, I
Yeah.
served my city. You know, eventually I left New York City, went upstate New York, finished my career there.
Yeah.
But all exciting, and then all in all, went back, got into hospitality, another service industry, right? But throughout the times, I dibble-dabbled a little bit in real estate during the time that I was a law enforcement officer, so that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I guess the last couple of years, I went back to real estate in Florida. I'm a real estate agent over there in Miami-Dade
Okay.
and Broward County.
In Broward, okay.
And it was weird because I'll tell you a little story.
Yeah.
Back March 25th of last year, I got into a really bad accident, my wife and I.
Oh, man.
We were actually medevaced out of there in a chopper, you know. So we're
Wow.
lucky to be alive, you know. So that was like a little bit of a catalyst for me.
Yeah.
And as weird as IG is, or the algorithm, or whatever have you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was just searching for property for quite some time. I was interested in investing, and obviously I was in real estate.
Yeah.
But somehow I ran into Cheryl's videos.
Uh-oh.
And some of these things that were going on, I saw the medical tours and all this other thing. So I really hopped on right away last year. Came for, you know, at the time my wife was like, you go first, 'cause I don't know if they're gonna
Right.
sell your organs or something
Yeah,
over there.
you're the advance party, right?
So I'm
right.
like, no, wait.
Right.
I was like, this is my country. She's Dominican too,
Yeah,
but she
yeah.
was raised in the States. But either way, I came. I found it to be phenomenal. The actual way that they take care of veterans, you know.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I'm Dominican, so we're amazing people.
Yeah.
We care about people. Obviously, I was a man of service for most of my life, so I kind of understand that.
Yeah.
And, you know, like always, you know, we put in our time, right? We served. And it's always good to see that, not what you find back in the States, right? You know, you go to the VA and you're just like a number, you know. I'm not gonna name out any
Sure.
VAs out there,
Yeah, we
but
get
you
the
guys
message.
know the horror stories out
Yeah,
there, right? So
absolutely.
for me, it was like, okay, let me give this a try. You know, I was suffering through a lot of back pain, PTSD, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Sitting at 70%, you know, and I was like, you know, like everybody else, right?
Yeah.
You leave a lot of money on the table, you
Yeah.
know, because you don't know. We're kind of structured to be like, you know, tough it out. You're a soldier, whatever.
get through it, yeah.
We'll get through it.
Yeah.
You know, but I got to a pivotal age where I was just like, you know what, I can't, I need help,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the VA wasn't doing it for me. And sure enough, I found this program.
Oh, man, tell us about it.
Amazing program. I mean, from the second you stepped off the plane, and mind you, your skin in the game is just by your flight,
Yes.
right? It's everything as it is, as it speaks, as we say it. You know, being part of this team, some way, somehow being involved,
Yes.
is service as well for me, you know? So tying everything, you know, with real estate and what we're doing here and the community we're building is just fantastic, you know?
Wow.
When you look at what's offered here, you know, in comparison to the States, there's just, you can't put words on it,
Yeah.
you know? So long story short, I brought back my wife the second time around,
Okay.
and she was, because I just came back like, oh my God, this is an amazing program. you gotta see this.
Yeah.
She came along, and then she came back again.
Oh.
And then right there, we took some time off, you know, little complications here and there. But
Yeah.
you know what? During that whole time, I took care of what was mattered to me most, was my mental health.
Wow.
And we had, you know, telehealth consistently. I've had telehealth since I left from the first time. So
Really?
you can imagine, almost a year now.
Wow.
So you can't beat that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just amazing. I mean, how hard is it for you to sit in front of a person at the VA or do telehealth? It's impossible.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and then
It
you
is.
get there once a month. I've been doing it probably every week
Wow.
since then.
Wow.
And it's made a substantial change. You know, I took a risk to come down here. We were kind of like in the mix of trying to be down here and
Yeah, back and forth.
and
Yeah.
and I just do the back and forth thing. Spent 6 months here. You know, we invested in some properties.
Yeah.
And sure enough, you know, just like God will have it, you know, I ended up working here. I'm doing my real estate.
Yeah.
I'm also working within the hospitality
Are
industry.
you boots on the ground now? here?
I've been boots on the ground
Oh, man.
since last month, since
Okay,
May.
okay.
Mid-May, found a beautiful place to live.
Yeah.
You know, I walk out of my backyard and I literally have just nice grass,
Yeah,
a blue
yeah.
lagoon, man. I mean, it's just, and the breeze that comes through there and the peace that you get,
Yeah.
it's beyond what you can, really kind of put it all together, you know? I will say to everyone out there,
Yeah.
it's, you have to take the initiative and just do it. Just do it. Just like, you know, when I was airborne jumping out of airplanes.
right, that's
It
right.
was just like you put on that static line and
And
you
go.
know you're going out. So, you know,
Yeah.
if that static line for you is putting the money in and buying a trip,
Yeah.
just get in that plane and go. You know?
Yeah, that's
And you
interesting.
come here and you're gonna be so pleasantly surprised about what this program does for you and for veterans. And since then, I've seen hundreds come through.
Yeah.
You know, guys, people return,
Yeah.
people stay. I took a little bit of time to come back and stay, but now I'm here for good
Now
for a
you're here
little
for
bit.
good.
Yeah. And it's actually the best thing. You know, I'm in the hospitality industry as well.
Yeah.
You know, serving on that end. I mean, it's incredible.
So let me ask you, that's a good point. I really appreciate you making that statement. But I want to ask you, since you've been here, what have you witnessed in terms of the veterans who are coming here? What are you seeing in the veterans that are coming here and getting this medical attention? What are you witnessing while they're here, and probably what you're witnessing when they're going through everything that they're going through?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, the one word that sticks with me is transformation.
Wow.
Transformation. I've seen guys come in bent over, you know, not being able to walk, not being able to, like, it takes a toll out of them. I've seen guys on the PTSD level.
Yeah.
They're popping 10, 15 pills and they're walking out of here without that.
Yeah.
And getting the care that they need, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like, transformation is the word for it.
Yeah.
I've seen guys like fall into tears that they couldn't believe that they've been, you know, healed.
Yeah.
Healed.
Yeah.
How big is that? You know, and you don't feel like, you know, you're a burden. You know,
Yeah.
they actually nurture you. They take care of you. There's actually genuine appeal to want to help you.
Yeah.
You know, and then you think about it, it's like, you know, we always ask these questions like, why? There's an
Yeah.
ulterior motive
Yeah.
here. You know what?
What's
There
the
is
reason?
none.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah.
reason?
Yeah.
There is none. The reason is your health.
Yeah.
The reason is taking care of you, offering you something else.
Yeah.
You know, something, an alternative, a good life. I mean, look what's going back in the States right now
Yeah,
with this
man.
whole situation with
Yeah.
Iran. You know, that causes fear in people.
Of course.
And there's especially a lot of soldiers. It triggers us, you know?
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts? You know, it may, immediately you see something, it's going to trigger you. So it's just peace.
Yeah, that's
tranquility.
You know, that's very interesting you mention it like that. And I've noticed that when you're with the veterans, they feel a certain kind of way. They feel more comfortable. Can you give us a little insight? Because we know that you're one of the ones that take veterans back and forth up to the new project called Miches. Can you give us your thoughts and what you're witnessing with the veterans going back and forth to Miches?
I mean, I'll tell you what, I mean, the property is absolutely gorgeous, right? And the whole concept and what that's gonna look like for the future.
Yeah.
I gotta say to you, it's one of the most unbelievable things around. And it's a hot market, especially up there in Miches, right? You got hotels like Hilton and Hyatt involved,
Wow.
Marriott. You know, I know for a fact that the people that are involved with Grupo Punta Cana, they're actually gonna build an airport out there. There's talks about
Wow.
it. They own a lot of property. This is just they're just working on the fine print. And it's gonna blow up, just like it did here years ago in Punta Cana, you
Yeah.
know? But I'll tell you what I see in them is a vision. They see vision. They see, okay, I'm gonna have my care, I have protection, I have everything I need here. You know, just the project itself is absolutely beautiful. You know, a lot of green space. You know, very a place that's not gonna be like knocking everything down because it's just nature. And, you know, we thrive in that type of environment as veterans, right? Nature is huge. Connecting with nature and peace and tranquility. That project's amazing. Just watching them, just like really take it in because they only see it on video. They see it, or you send them information on it. But when they see it like live, and they're like, oh my God, I never had a place like this existed, you know? And I mean, this country's gorgeous. I mean, everywhere you go, there's just opportunity here. You know, for those business line, entrepreneur type of veterans, there's opportunities that you can't imagine here. I mean, there's a need for everything. You just gotta have with the right mindset.
The right mindset,
and you're gonna thrive here. You know, and that's what keeps us going. You know, I'm a workaholic anyway, so I think I work to the day I die. You know, so I just love it, and I just love. In the end, is the way I love it is just that I'm looking just to help people, help veterans, and help anyone for that matter. It doesn't really matter for me. It's just in my DNA, I guess you could say. You know. Yeah,
that means a lot, and I'm not going to pause the video. But our general manager just walked in, and I definitely want to welcome him into the conversation. So is Jalen, can you come in and give us some of your insights as well and give a couple of questions to Jose? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. This is live, guys. We're not, you know, this is not a script. We're here live, and we got our general manager here. Thank you for coming in. We know you've been tied up, but we just want to welcome you in to the actual chat and with our special guest. Would you like to please? I got one question. Yeah, there we go. We're on.
What's up, Jose?
What's going on, Jay?
I'm all good.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I have a very important question because I know a lot of times we have people who have been here before and they come back. Obviously, you're being one of them. Not only you've came back, but you've moved down here. So I would love for you to talk to me a little bit about how VCI, what has VCI done while you're living here? I know we've done maybe some memberships, some appointments. So just talk to me about that.
Oh, yeah. I'm more than glad to.
Thank you.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I actually arrived here last month, right? So another little bit story. And I arrived through the Capitol, and I was carrying some heavy bags, as obviously, you know, I'm making this move. And somehow I hurt myself, didn't know I would hurt myself.
Oh, man.
And I showed up, and literally a couple of days in, I hadn't started my job. I was literally starting it that Thursday or Friday, you know, helping out with this Marriott property, and I couldn't move. I was hunched over. We had Raul pick me up, and I was in pain. And I called Dr. Mariela, and she said, come now, we'll send someone. They sent. I ended up at IMG Hospital. You know, they took a scan to see if something I might have, you know, maybe dislocated a disc or something like that, but I was in pain. And, you know, I got the proper medication to kind of just ease my muscles and everything, and literally 2 days later, I was like almost back to normal. You remember I was wearing that patch on my neck? Dude, I'm still suffering, but let me tell you, it was just like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's the service, you know? And that's what this program offers you. Is like, even if you live here or you're staying here temporarily, that you could just pick up the phone and call that, like, the medical director of VCI, and she'll call you back. She was in the Capitol. She arranged everything. I got back. I got Perla to come in. I got the massage therapist to come in. You know, I was taken to the hospital, and look at me. I've been working nonstop. And it's just like, wow, this is incredible. But on top of that, you know, we don't take care of ourselves. And because we're always busy or we're always got something else going on. And with that said, you know, part of the program for me was, you know, going back into the gym, you know, and VCI offered that for me. And that's an amazing thing, you know. you know, I have lucky that I can have that. That's just incredible, you know, and I
man.
thank you and I thank BCI for that.
Yeah.
Being able to go and hit the gym every morning, you know, I finally started going and it's fantastic. I mean, the gym is great. I'm literally 5 minutes from my house,
Right.
driving.
That's
you
a
know,
plus, man.
it's just like it's everything's in play, you know, and just like being able to talk about that, being able to kind of live that life that, you know, maybe have some sort of not so much clarity back in the States of, because you never know what you're dealt with at the VA.
Yeah.
But there's no VA hospital that's going to offer you, you know, a membership at a gym as part of the group.
That's
you know,
true,
you're not going to get that.
That's true.
So, you know, and be able to like, even like for what we do is to offer housing to, you know, whether it's a rental you want to buy or you're looking to do something for the future, you know, just I think what the best way to sum it up is we're creating a community here, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's the best part, that you have people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
You have your tribe here, whatever that is. I know we go back and forth with different branches of
Yeah.
service,
Yeah.
Army, Navy,
Yeah.
you know, we talk
World
crap.
War I.
But
Yep.
let me tell you something. There's just always that bond that just as being veterans, period, that keeps us together. But
Yeah.
I'm grateful for VCI.
Great
Absolutely.
response.
Thank you.
Great response.
Thank you for that. So yeah, like Jose said, if you are looking at somewhere to be, again, it doesn't have to be a permanent move, maybe a couple months, maybe 1 month, maybe you are looking to relocate. If you come to Punta Cana and you are a veteran, you will be taken care of
Absolutely.
by VCI. So I know I wanted to leave some time for some questions from the group. We have Margarita here, who always reads out the questions. So if you have a question either for VCI or Jose in particular, leave them in the chat and we'll get to it right away. All right.
This is from Gerald. I have sent all the necessary documents, got a July 22nd date and flight, got an email from Noreen and followed the direction as best as I could. After I applied for the FMP program, there seems to be no way to register through the website. Please advise.
Okay. So essentially the question is, well, someone did the whole process of registering. Noreen, which is our support assistant, got in contact. Everything is good, but now we're asking about the FMP registration, okay? So to be very, very clear, you do not register for the FMP before coming here.
Correct.
All right? We will have the registration forms with all of the correct information when you arrive. During orientation on the first night, you will get a packet, and inside that packet, you will have that registration form. You sign it, and then we send those registration forms directly to the FMP. So again, to answer your question, don't worry about registering for the FMP at all. You will take care of that when you arrive for your tour.
He's having issues with like VCI, like registering for the tour, is his question.
So what question or what issue are you having?
The correct answer would be for us to have Noreen reach out to him to further assist them.
Okay, so yeah, why don't you get in contact with us again, or maybe clarify your question, like what particular part isn't working?
Yeah.
So that we can help.
He said, I have been trying to register to the VSI also, so he's having trouble with VCI, like the website.
Okay, so you have to go to veteranscareinternational.com.
Yeah.
And then you go to Veterans Tour, and then you fill out the form. Now again, if you're having issues, you do have to get in contact with us directly. So send us an email.
Yeah.
If you go on our website, our email address is at the bottom.
Yes.
Send us an email, say, hi, this is for Noreen, give me a call, or I need help registering, and we will get in contact with you.
Yes.
So just let us know through email, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours.
That's the only question.
That's the only question?
What?
Not too many questions.
Yeah, these
today.
guys are shy. That's okay. That's okay. I know it was a great presentation, and you guys are speechless out there. We understand. You guys are speechless. That's okay. We'll take that today.
All right, okay. So yeah, we're coming to the end of today's webinar. Just a quick reminder, we do these webinars every single Tuesday, every week.
Yes.
Same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Different guest every single week. So stay tuned. If you showed up to this one, we'll have a different guest next week.
Yes.
If you know a veteran, either friend or family, that could benefit from a program like this, if they just need a week away, or if they need medical help in a fast manner, get them on this webinar. We will explain everything. We'll give them the presentation. Again, if you have any questions, please send us an email, info@veteranscareinternational.com, and we will get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, and I hope to see everyone next week.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Enjoy the rest of your week.
And cut.